An Israeli court has extended the detention of a group of activists, including 2 Australians, after the Israeli military seized them off the coast of Gaza. Human rights activists Robert Martin and Tanya Safi were part of a group of 21 on board the boat Handala, which was en route to Gaza when it was stopped by the Israeli Navy on Sunday. For more, I'm joined by correspondent Alison Horn. Hi, Alison. So can you take us through what's happened?
Ros, it was earlier this month when these 20-plus activists set sail towards Gaza on board with a load of humanitarian aid that they hoped to reach Gaza and deliver to Palestinians inside the enclave. As the ship was approaching the Gaza coast on Sunday night local time, it was intercepted and seized by the Israeli military. Israeli military officials boarded that ship and detained a number of those activists on board, and including those who have been detained, 2 Australians, as you mentioned, Robert Martin and Tanya Safi. Since then, they've been held in an Israeli prison. They haven't been able to communicate with their families. We understand that their phones were thrown overboard, that they threw their phones overboard at the time, or that their possessions were seized by the Israeli military. And at this point in time, they are still being held within an Israeli prison while we hear they are awaiting deportation.
And we've heard from the activist legal team. What have they had to say?
Yeah, so lawyers had applied to have Tan and Robert Martin the ability to leave prison. However, the extension was given by the Israeli prisons, the Israeli judiciary, to keep these Australians and a number of other activists within the prison system until they are deported. In the last 24 hours, this has unfolded where the Israeli lawyer team for these activists has put forward a legal argument that the Israeli seizure of this boat and Israel's actions in stopping this boat from getting to Gaza is illegal. That's what they have claimed in court. They say that boarding this boat in international waters is illegal, and Israel has an obligation as the occupying power within Gaza to allow this aid to get to Gaza. Now, these arguments have been rejected by the Israeli military, and as we've seen, the Israeli courts have upheld this application by Israel to extend the detention of these activists, including these 2 Australians. Here's what lawyers for these Australians had to say a short while ago.
It is important to note that since the boat was intercepted and the volunteers were dragged to Israel against their will, they did not intend to come to Israel. Thus, one of our arguments is that Israeli authorities lack authority to hold them under custody, and we demanded that they should be allowed back on the boat en route to Gaza to deliver the humanitarian assistance.
And Alison, you've been in contact with the family of one of the detained Australians.
Yeah, I've actually spoken with the families of both Robert Martin and Tanya Safi. They are understandably distressed. They say they haven't been able to speak with their loved ones. I spoke with both the partner and the daughter of Robert Martin. They were quite emotional when they were on the phone. They don't know how their father and partner is being treated at the moment. They haven't been able to get any information about what kind of conditions he's being held in. There aren't any allegations from the lawyers, though, that they are being mistreated. But the families of these 2 Australians are concerned about their welfare. In fact, Robert Martin's family told me that his medication had been taken off him. He has arthritis medication and medication for other health conditions. That medication had been seized by the Israeli authorities. They don't know if that medication has been returned to him. They haven't been able to get any information. And at the moment, they're saying that they're facing a lot of anxiety about what's going to happen to these Australians. The lawyers who are representing these activists, including these 2 Australians, expect that they will be deported sometime this week, although there is no clear indication of when that will happen and how long these Australians could be held in detention until then.
Alison, thank you.